Well, hello to you. What am I doing? Well, it's Apani's moss box, and I don't change it out all of the time, as in put new moss into it. Once, when I feel it's getting a little bit dry, and it's only been in there for about a week and a half, even 2 weeks, I just get it out. And I find this pressure sprayer the best way to moisten the actual moss. Now, normally I would use both hands, of course, and be feeling it as I go. But basically, when I find a little bit of a wet bit of moss or dry bit of moss in there, I will just give it a bit of a spray, turn over the moss for the underneath, bring up any dry moss from the actual bottom, and give that a bit of a squirt and just keep going until I feel that it's got more than enough moisture in it, rather than wetting the whole lot and taking a guess, I guess you could say, on whether it's moist or not, or too moist, and then you're wringing it out because it's pretty much completely saturated. This just makes that element of it not be an actual problem. So there's more than, well, I also personally, to be honest with you, don't be too concerned about, that's too wet, there's too much water in there. If you can pick it up and of course bring it out and you get half a bucket of water, then yes, it is too much. But if it's wet, and I guess the rule of thumb is, even if you can squeeze it and I can feel a little bit of moisture coming out of my fingertips, I'm not concerned about it at all. I'm really not. We see snakes in water bowls, soaking in water bowls. People are also a bit worried about mold, moldy moss, that's the word. I don't and have never seen any of my moss ever go moldy. And I guess Myers is a good example. I do wet this down, and I will be wetting that down today because Miss Meyer doesn't mind a little bit of moisture. You can see her laying there. All the plants need watering. She needs more water. And again, the pressure sprayer takes care of that. I can see a little bit of urate and poop over there that I will happily go in and take away, which I'll do right now. Do I wear gloves? No. I honestly, no, it's not. Sorry, it's a twig. Oh, sorry, Maya. She's going into shed, I believe, at the moment. Hiding under there. So she hasn't really moved. She's not interested in eating, which is typical of Maya at times, not because she's in shed, because that's Maya, a very intermittent feeder, and certainly not a snake that I feed before 14 days. If I try and feed her before 14 days, I got no hope of her eating. The rats are doing well, actually, growing. They're all having an afternoon nap. What is the time? Oh yes, 2 o'clock, rat nap time in my home. Excuse me while I try and crawl over here. You know, my space is, as you know, here I go. Well, I don't step on it from there because I would definitely fall off. There's Apani. Whoop. There she is. Now, I'm going to open the door and try and keep my hand on the camera. I wish I could do better camera work. Honestly, I do, but I can't. I could if I stopped, started, and set up the shot and moved that, but I don't have the space to move that and set up a shot, you could say. Even now, I'm like, hang on, Apani, while I make a rumble and a noise and lift, and I'm one-handed, so it's even harder. So I'll try and sit. I mean, you're up under the heat right now with the camera, but I've got the camera sitting on the hammock so I can actually put this. Well, I do want to show you Apani because it's Apani that is very interested always in what Mum might be doing. Are we in focus, camera? That's what you get when you can't see the screen. Mum's putting in your thing, okay? I'm putting in your moss box, which, oh goodness gracious, now I've done it. Like, whoa, I don't know how this will work. Or, oh well, there you go. A turtle ledge that works as a camera ledge. So I'm going to, I have to lift this all log up. Don't knock my camera. Careful. Boom. There you go. Did you want to come out and go and climb in there, or are you just going to hide away so that we can't see you? But I'm sneaking a peek at you. Well, the light is not on, is it, Apani? Your light is, which is a UVB, and of course she has the deep heat lamp, you could say. I'll show you what they actually look like. Oh, I don't know if I can pick that thing up because I know it's just warm. There you go. That is what they look like, and I just sit it there. So she has a beautiful, oh, you want to lick my finger? Do you want to come lick my finger? Come and say hello to everybody. Come on. Come and say hello. Do you want to go in your moss box? It's nice and damp again. I just watered it. I've still got to water your plant. And yes, I know. I need to put water in your water bowl, don't I? Do you need me to do that right now? Or you... Yeah. Bye, she says to everybody. I will take a water bowl while I'm here. Well, while I have the door open. Mind you, I don't leave the door open with Apani because she's pretty good at deciding, oh wow, that door is open, so I can escape and go for a little bit of a run around. Well, slide around, we should say, when it comes to our snakes. Not run around, although I refer to it as that quite often, actually. So that's Apani, all kind of sorted, moistened moss. She'll get a fresh bowl of water, of course, which we will. I will. How I could ever say we will, I'll never know, because there's never really a we will. It's always I will when it comes to any of my own animals, you could say. But everybody else is digesting and should be almost digested at this particular point. We will go up and not find Archie, which is rare, I must say, because Archie is normally up there, and he'll be up there this evening. He also has a UVB during the day, and currently I would say he is down in his lower hide. It is very, very hot here at this present time, so up high would be extremely warm for Archie. I don't know under which hide he's in. Oh, he's over in that back one, and I want to put my hand right there to pick up a urate, which I won't do. Just I don't want to startle him. I don't want him to be surprised, but I know it's there, so I will be back to, of course, to clean that up for my boy. So yeah, Lily is in. She was out all night. My girl was out, yeah, till about 4:30. Well, you'll be wondering what you're looking at, but if you look closely, you can see that Tessa started to shed, and now you can see that Tessa has stopped shedding. She's still got probably half of herself to do at this particular point. She has knocked her hammock down, and I'm thinking to myself, come on Tessa, keep on going. Now Tessa started shedding last night, and then she just curled up and she just laid there, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, she's a big girl, okay, she's taking a bit of a rest here, and when I get up in the morning, she'll have shed her skin. So I'll leave her be. I'll make sure there's plenty of humidity, that she's not having any trouble getting that skin off, which she isn't. But, she is quite content to just lay there and not continue. So I know at this particular point, if I open the door, I really do want to put the hammock back up for her, just because I know, you know, that's how it should be for her and what she is very much used to. A lot of the time Tessa she's fine with me going in and doing bits and pieces, but I'm actually going to be using a screwdriver, well, a drill, and she's pretty much right there. If I can get a sneak peek, she's tucked her head right in. I know that she is certainly aware of me being there. And she isn't really one to let me actually physically help her do it the lazy way. And I call it the lazy way when I myself physically help them shed. You know, it takes them minimal time to get that shed off. Tessa, do not touch me, girl. Which, that's her prerogative, and that's who she is and the way she is. She's quite easygoing out of her enclosure, and I don't have too much difficulty, as I said, doing things inside of her enclosure. Excuse me while I slur my words there. I don't have much difficulty, as I said, doing things inside of her enclosure. More often than not, she just lays there looking at me. But this is going to dry, and that is my my little bit of concern. And you know, when she starts to move, I start to move. I'm not silly, because she really does not have any hesitation in confronting me for actually touching her. But I really do want her to, you know, I want her to make an effort, and I want her to start moving. I know what she's looking at me for. It's like, this isn't a, okay, you're not hurting me, you're not doing anything that is harmful, but I don't want you to do it either. Girl, you need to get that shed off. I know she's got plenty of oils still under this part of her skin, you know, and even though I'm being so gentle and nice to her, Tessa doesn't take it that way at all. She never does, and I'll never understand it. Well, I will, because she's always been that defensive girl with me when in her enclosure. Don't look at me like that, okay? I really do just want you to shed, sweetie. So I'm going to moisten this down a little bit, just to, you know, and a little bit of water does not in any way, shape or form hurt them. And I know people say, oh, do not spray water directly on them. Well, what actually happens to them when they're out in the wild, when it rains? Does somebody come running along with an umbrella because or you can't get water on you? Snakes will go into water, and Tessa never really ever has, and she has had big enough water bowls as a littler one, because I haven't got a water bowl that would even fit a third of her in. Well, maybe a third of her in, but that's about all that would fit in it. So she doesn't actually have the option to soak in a water bowl. She's not up under a heat, which is a good thing, because that would dry her out a whole lot more than being over here on the cool side. Now, I did watch her do a little bit more earlier on, and she moved to the warm side and she moved back to the cool side and stopped. Now, I'll ask the question, has anybody ever had a snake that has taken this long to shed their skin. Like, I've never had it before. I've never dealt with it before. I've never even contemplated the fact that a snake would or might actually do that. But this is Tessa that I'm talking about. Not one of my other snakes. And like I said, Tessa has been my most difficult, apart from Ishi, who I'm dealing with. But at least Ishi's little. She can sure pack a punch when she bites me, but this girl would pack an even harder punch. So I don't play any game with Tessa. I read her, I see what mood she is in, I take it from there. If she is not in the mood, and hence why I no longer allow her to come out and go into the climbing area, because she can go up there because she's chilled and she's happy, because I've taken her over there, you know, around my shoulders and lifted her up, and up she goes. But when it comes to getting her home, she's in a bad mood because she doesn't want to go home, and she is saying, well, I'm not going home, and reacts to let me know that she is most definitely not wanting to go home. So, I don't even know, do I get her moving? Do I pretty much preempt her and say, come on, sweetie, you have to get this shed off, you have to move. Stop being what I consider to be relatively lazy, or she just knows what she's doing. I can't read their minds that much. They are the snake. They understand things way better than I do about what they can and can't do. But out in the wild, I don't believe she would stop and just lay there for a day and a night. And, well, it's really only been overnight, without attempting to continue to shed that skin off. And the moment I touch her, it's like fuel to the flame already. Okay, I just want you to shed, darling. I just want you to shed that skin. It's get it off, darling. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know. Do I get her moving? Jog her memory, keep shedding. You still got a bit to get off. And I know you got a fat belly there, haven't you? Is that what you're doing? Just digesting? Because I fed her, and not thinking that she was anywhere near close to shedding, of course, and then she decides to shed. Maybe her belly's just a little bit too fat, and she just wants it to shrink down a little bit to make it a bit easier. But I'm going to try and get this hammock up. I don't know if I'll have any success. I might wait for her to settle back down again, because right now she's quite heightened, as you can see there. So you take care, because I'm going to right now. I can tell you that much. With a face like that, everybody says to me she always looks angry just because of her face itself. And I kind of agree, when I look at her. But I look at her and I do see she's not happy. So I see that face. But otherwise, she's a beautiful snake. She's a big girl. And, she gets a large rat every 20 days. A large rat is like a mouse to Lily, you could say. So, but anyway, It is what she is, and it is the way she's grown quickly, actually faster than I expected. So again, take care. I'll talk to you again real soon. Ciao.